The Fairies of Fairyland. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Fairyland, lived two fairies who were as different as night and day. There was Glimmer, the good fairy, who loved spreading joy and happiness wherever she went. Her wings sparkled with the colors of the rainbow, and she wore a crown made of the finest flowers. Then there was Shadow, the grumpy fairy, whose wings were dark and cloudy, and who preferred to keep to herself in a rather gloomy corner of the fairy forest. Fairyland was a beautiful place where the sky was always blue, and shimmering stars twinkled even during the day. The fairies there were responsible for keeping the forest lush and beautiful, but Shadow wasn't very interested in such tasks. She spent her days grumbling about how bright everything was or how cheerful the other fairies were. One sunny morning, the fairy queen called all the fairies together. "We need more flowers on the rainbow bridge," she announced. "It looks a little dull, and a splash of color would make it so much better. Glimmer, would you lead the project?" Glimmer was overjoyed and flitted up, her wings shimmering even more than usual. "Of course, Your Majesty," she replied enthusiastically. But as Glimmer set to work, Shadow watched dismally from a distance. "Humph, more flowers. What's the point?" she muttered. Even as she grumbled, something inside her felt a small twinge of curiosity. Glimmer, with her radiant charm, invited all the little woodland creatures to help her gather seeds and plant beautiful blooms. The bunnies hopped around planting, the birds sang and carried seeds, and even the busy bees joined in to help. The bridge was becoming a paradise of colors, but Shadow just watched, pretending not to care. One day, as Glimmer was planting a particularly stubborn tulip bulb, she struggled a little. Shadow, despite herself, wandered closer. "Need some help?" she asked, trying to sound annoyed, but inside she felt something tugging at her heart. Glimmer smiled brightly. "Yes, please. It's always fun to plant flowers together." Shadow hesitated but then knelt beside Glimmer to help. As she dug the soil and planted the bulbs, Shadow realized that her heart felt lighter. Days passed, and the rainbow bridge bloomed into a stunning array of colors. Every fairy, creature, and even the fairy queen herself was delighted with how marvelous it looked. To everyone's surprise, Shadow's wings had started to shimmer, not as bright as Glimmer's, but with a soft, subtle shine. The queen held a celebration for the wonderful transformation, and Shadow was invited to share in the joy. It was then she understood something important. She realized that working together to create something beautiful and helping others brought happiness not only to others but also to herself. From that day on, Shadow was not so grumpy anymore. She often helped Glimmer and other fairies with their tasks, and the forest felt a little brighter. And though she still loved her quiet space in the wildwood, she learned that joy, once shared, made her wings twinkle like stars. And so, in Fairyland, where flowers never fade and magic is always in the air, Glimmer and Shadow became the best of friends. Teaching everyone an important lesson, helping and kindness can make even the cloudiest day bright and beautiful. The end. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe our channel for more videos.